I've made $17,600 in the past 2 days trading. Welcome to an afternoon of my life. Want to see this? Do you want to see beautiful beach water, palm trees? Today I've taken 2 trades so far this week. Yesterday I took a break and retest trade to the upside. Today I also took a trade to the upside, but today's trade I took some longs off of London low, so I took that bounce trade. Favorite things about my strategy is that I am only trading from 9 a.m. to about 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So once lunchtime hits, I like to go to the beach club and go look at this beautiful view. I mean, come on guys, it doesn't get much better than this. Like, what more do you possibly want out of life? Make your money in the morning. I mean, this morning I made $10,500 this morning, and now I do this. I mean, this is fucking priceless. I'm gonna grab a little smoothie, a little coffee real quick, and then I'm gonna sit down and give you guys a full trade breakdown on exactly how I made $10,500 this morning. Living in Florida is fucking amazing, guys. I literally love it here. The reason I don't live in like Arkansas is because that shit sucks. Like, genuinely, when you wake up, do you wanna see this? Do you wanna see beautiful beach water, palm trees, or do you want to see, you know, a fucking moose? Me personally, I think mooses are great and shit, but I'd prefer a shark. I'm gonna do an iced black coffee as well, please. And I'm gonna do a protein blend smoothie. Yes, please, thank you. All right, y'all wanna know the secret to how I'm in my early 20s? I have the Lambo, I have the fucking, you know, all the fun stuff. It's this combination right here. Coffee, smoothie. Gotta be a healthy smoothie, but you need coffee, you need smoothie, you need your caffeine, and you need your nutrients. And if you have carbs, if you have too much carbs in the day, you're gonna feel like shit. So this little combo right here, coffee smoothie, it's got me to where I am. You know who pisses me the fuck off, guys? Are broke health gurus. A lot of these guys are like, oh, you gotta eat a fucking cucumber. Dude, I could be blackout drunk and make more money than you, right? You're a health guru. But why do you have $7 in your bank account? What the fuck purpose is it to be healthy if your bank account is not healthy? What are you gonna do? You're gonna be jacked as fuck, living in your 1-bedroom. Like what are you doing, bro? I don't get that whole thing. One thing that I wanna get a lot better at this year is my health. And I don't mean like I'm gonna be doing, you know, blue light therapy at 2 a.m. I just mean that I wanna get a lot more muscular. But it's actually really interesting because I was talking to my friend in college and he was telling me about his workout routine, and the guy looks great, right? I give it to him, he looks great, but he's broke as fuck. And he's spending, I don't know, 6 to 8 hours a day focused on his health and like 2 to 3 hours a day focused on business. If that's you, you're fucked, guys. I could get drunk as fuck and make more money than you. Do you realize that? You can't be optimizing for, you know, feeling the best when you're poor. When you're poor, your goal has to be to get more money so you have more freedom. So then you have the time to focus on your life, right? You have to make money so that you can then free up time to focus on health. But when you don't have any money, you should be using all your time to make money. You shouldn't be trading your time for a better body when you're broke. Just finished up some lunch. Gave you guys a quick trade recap. Now we're gonna go for a little walk on the beach. The thing that I love about trading, guys, is I genuinely just get to enjoy life, right? I'm sitting here and I'm seeing a bunch of tarpon. If you guys don't know, recently I've been into this kind of like this fishing mode, and I'm thinking, I'm like, damn, like I wish I could just go catch these tarpon right now. And then I'm like, oh shit, I can, right? So now I'm gonna call up my jet ski, or I'm gonna call up my marina. I'm gonna have them put the jet ski in the water. I'm gonna call up my girl. I'm gonna tell her to get on the jet ski so she can take some pictures of me while I catch the big fish. And I wanna spend time with her, obviously. But yeah, that's the beauty of trading, guys. If I had any other profession, I don't think I'd be able to fuck around this much. So when I was working at my busboy job, I had a boss. I had 2 bosses. Both of them were really cool. Like, they were great dudes. I just fucking hated having a boss. So I didn't like them because they were my boss. You know what I mean? But if I met them at like the bar or whatever, I probably would have got along with them just fine. But I didn't like the fact that they were telling me, sit here, do this, fold this. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to answer to you guys. The thing that I love about trading is that there's no people, guys. Look at this big beach of people, right? When I'm at the fucking beach, or you know, I'm trying to make an analogy. The thing that I love about trading is you don't have to deal with people's shit. And I hate dealing with people's shit, guys, because me personally, what I fucking love about trading is when I wake up, I could go the entire day without talking to a single fucking soul. And sometimes I do. And I love that because it brings me so much peace of mind, right? I'm able to live my life the way I want to live my life. Most people cannot say that. The true test of life, out of whether you're smart, is can you live life the way you want to live? If the answer to that is no, then you're not fucking smart. I'm sorry to say it, you're just not, right? Like, you have to work more to get more intelligence so that you can get your life to a place where you're doing what you actually want to be doing. I pull up to the beach wearing my Palm Angels hoodie, with my sweatpants, because this isn't my off day, right? I don't take off days. I work pretty much every day, but I work the way I want to work. So when I'm done with the beach, I'm gonna go sit in my air-conditioned condo, hop on my laptop, get a little bit of work done, and then I'm gonna go take this shit off go on the jet ski. A lot of these people, guys, this is their off day. So for them, this is a big special occasion. For me, this is my everyday. This is how I live my fucking life. So get your ass to work, get inspired, put your head down, and I'll see you at the fucking beach. I don't even tint my whip because I want people to see who's in it, right? I don't tint it because I want them to see who's in it. And if you're a young dude and you're somewhat good looking, if you're ugly, you should probably tint that shit, not gonna lie. But if you're a somewhat good looking dude, don't tint your shit, y'all. Let people know who's in it. I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm in a green fucking Lamborghini. When I drive through downtown in my Lamborghini, so many different things happen with the way that people treat me. The first thing that happens is you will drive next to a couple and the girl will look at you and smile at you. I mean, part of that's just because I'm like a good looking dude and shit, but like that'll happen. And the other thing that will happen is kids will get so fired up. That makes me even more happy. When the kids look at you and they're like, yeah, Rev, it's really not that hard to get all this shit, guys. And I'm not saying this as like, okay, it's gonna happen overnight. It's not gonna happen overnight. But if you focus for 2 to 3 years and you learn a skill where you can make money that is not directly correlated to your time, like for me, that's trading, you can get the Lambo, you can get the penthouse, you can get the dream girl, whatever you want, right? Like you guys can do this shit. So don't look at it as like, it's just this crazy thing. It's not. It's hard, but it's very doable. So I now own my dream car before most people have graduated college. So people are gonna ask me, they're gonna be like, what does it feel like? It feels much better than you think, and not for the reasons you think. It doesn't feel that cool when you're driving through downtown and people are looking at you. That gets old. What feels really cool is waking up and looking and saying, hey, for my whole life, I really, really wanted this thing. And most people told me that I could never have this thing. And I know in my heart that I put in the work to fucking have this thing. So that's why it's cool. I'm not even a big car person. I'm a big goal achieving person, and this was a goal for me. So made it happen and it feels great. One of my favorite things about where I live is that we have a fucking golf simulator, guys. I mean, like this thing is nice too. It's a nice golf simulator. So I'm gonna give you guys a little peek of my swing. I'm real rusty, so don't make any judgments, as you guys like to do in the comments. That was just me warming up for y'all. We're gonna do one more that's like me actually taking it serious. I was just testing to see if y'all were still following along. Now I'm actually taking things serious. Woo! That's real shit, boy. Yeah, that's real shit, man. That was actually really good. I'm not gonna act too surprised because I do that like every day and shit. Just like a normal little hit for me. First one was a warm up though. I made $27,613 trading this week. I'm going to show you every single trade that I took so you can understand exactly how this strategy works. This strategy is super simple. The first thing that we focus on are our levels, right? So I like to mark up my levels based on either a high, a low, a New York Open, or a trend, right? Those are really the only levels that I'm looking at. If I don't see any of those levels, then I'm simply just not marking them out. When I do see one of those levels, that's when I take a trade. For example, on Monday, we have a New York Open right here, and the trade that I took off of this level was a break and retest trade. So we have my level, which is the New York Open, and then the reaction off of that level, which is the break and retest, which I'm gonna go into a little bit smaller of a time frame so I can show you guys the exact entry that I took. Here's what Monday's trade looks like on the 1 minute time frame. So you guys can see that we had a beautiful break above the New York Open, right? So that's the first element of the break and retest. Then we got a retest, meaning we retouched the level. I either enter at the top of the zone right here. I do that when I have a lot of confidence that price is gonna bounce super quickly, but on days where price is chopping around a little bit more, like Monday, I wait for a little bit of confirmation. So what I did is I told myself that I'm going to see if price can remain above this midpoint right here. If it closed below this midpoint, I was not interested, but you guys can see that we actually had no candle closes below this midpoint. We almost had a candle closure below this midpoint, but we did not, because you guys can see that it looks like this candle closed below, but the wick was still in it. As long as the wick is still touching a level, guys, that means that the level has not been closed below. So for us to have fully closed below that, we would have needed a full candle closure, meaning no wick, nothing that's touching that level. So we didn't get that. That showed me that buyers were still interested and that nobody was willing to sell for below this price. I entered longs right there and I got out for about 15 points. And on that specific trade, I made $10,800. A lot of you guys have awful levels on your chart, right? Like I'll see pictures of your guys' charts and it looks so messy and I have no idea how you guys are taking trades because it's just so confusing. I like to keep my trading as simple as possible. I like to look for levels. Once the level gets hit, I like to take a trade. If the level doesn't get hit, I don't take a trade. Simple as that. Here's an example of another setup. The first setup that I just showed you was a break and retest setup. This setup on Tuesday that I took was a bounce off of a London low. The reason behind why the setup works is actually super simple. There were a lot of people who shorted the market right here, and all these people who shorted have been in a loss for a while, right? They're in a loss here, they're in a loss here, and the second the price comes back down to this low, they're getting out of their shorts. When you get out of a short, you have to buy it back, meaning they're further fueling the buying pressure to the upside, right? So we had people that were buying here, but we also had people who were getting out of their shorts, further pushing the price up. So what I did right here is I didn't enter right at this candle. I actually waited for a little bit of confirmation. So I wanted to see if this level was going to be strong and buyers were going to step in. Once I saw that buyers were super interested, which happened in this candle right here, you guys can see that this candle moved up a ton. I entered on the second candle once I already had that confirmation that we were getting a bounce. This trade was super nice. I ended up catching about 16 points on this trade, and on this specific trade, I made $7,100. I exited this trade for a risk reward of 1 to 4, meaning I was risking a little bit under $2,000, and I turned that $1,800 into $7,100. What I like to do when I exit my trades is I always like to make sure that the amount of points I'm targeting aligns with my stop loss. So for example, if my stop loss is 10 points, I'm not going to target 10 points because that would be a terrible risk to reward. If my stop loss is 10 points, I'm either going to target 30 points, or if I don't think that I'm going to be able to get 30 points, I simply will not take the trade. If I don't see a good risk to reward, I will not take the trade. On Wednesday, we had some news, so I actually did not take any trades on Wednesday, but on Thursday, I did take a trade. So I'm going to show you guys that right now. Thursday's trade was super nice as well. We had two main confluences that gave me the confidence to take this trade. I'm going to explain them to you right now. The first confluence was that we had a beautiful sweep off of the London low. So I look at these levels as reversal points because they're very important areas. So when price has a super strong bounce off of one of them, I say to myself, okay, this could be an important point for us to reverse. So I saw this first bounce right here. I didn't really think much of that, but when I got this bounce, which was super clean, literally to the exact tick, I then had in my mind, okay, I think we're reversing here. So once we got this candle right here and I had in my mind that we were going to start moving up, I then told myself that I was going to be looking for longs off of a pullback of this uptrend, which we got right here. You guys can see the uptrend started right here, and then we had a beautiful pullback. We completely disrespected the New York Open, which showed me that we were indeed in a strong trend. Once we got that pullback, I entered some longs right there, and I got out of those longs for about 18 points right there, and I made $7,000 on that trade. I'm not gonna lie, guys, this trade was kind of stressing me out a little bit because we did have this big reversal while I was in the trade, so I thought that it could come down and hit my stop loss, which was actually just right at my entry, so I wouldn't have lost any money, but I stuck to my plan, and price did exactly what I wanted it to do, and I made my money. That should show you guys the importance of sticking to your plan. Before you enter a trade, you should know exactly where you're getting at. You shouldn't be making the decision on where you're gonna leave the trade while you're in the damn trade, guys. Now let's talk about today's trade. Today is currently Friday, June 26th, and I actually did take a trade today, so let's talk about it. So today's trade was a simple break and retest to the upside. So the first thing I was looking for was actually going to be a break and retest to the downside, but on the 1 minute, I did not like what I was seeing there. I saw a lot of buyers coming in, so I switched my bias. When I woke up today, I was actually looking for a break and retest to the downside because the market opened up well below the New York Open. But when I saw how price was reacting to the bottom of the New York Open on the 1 minute time frame, I immediately switched my bias to looking for longs, looking for buy positions because I thought that price was going to continue moving up. I then got a nice retest of the New York Open. I waited for price to stay above the New York Open a little bit just to show me that we were indeed getting that move up, entered right there. And I only caught about 8 points on that trade, but I made $2,500. So nice way to finish the week. Here's my broker statement from this week. You guys can see that I made $27,613 and I did not lose a single trade this week. Losses are not a bad thing, guys. I want to make that super clear. When you guys see me winning, I'm not saying that losses are bad. I take losses, but when I take a loss, it's not big and exciting. It's very boring, right? I know exactly how much money I'm going to lose. I lose a quick $500 or a quick $1,000 and then I keep going, right? Losses are not something to be concerned of if you are using a good strategy and you know that your strategy is going to be profitable in the long term. There's three main things that you guys have to focus on if you want to build a profitable trading mindset. The first thing is that you have to detach from every single trade emotionally, right? You cannot be emotionally concerned. The second thing is that you have to accept uncertainty. You have to accept that you don't know what's going to happen, right? You might have an understanding of what two things are likely going to happen, but you never know something. The third, and one of the best tricks that I use, and I actually have never revealed this, is what if scenarios. Before you take the trade, you should play out what happens if the trade hits my stop loss. How much money am I going to lose? If you're not okay with that, then don't take the damn trade. You should also play out what the trade looks like if it's going to win, so you know exactly where you're going to get out. If you do this, your brain will be prepared for both scenarios. Most of the time that we are in fear, guys, it's because we don't know something. When I go swimming in a super dark lake, there could be a big gator, right? But the reason I'm scared is not because I see the gator. The reason I'm scared is because I don't know if there's a gator. If it was a super clear lake and I could see all the gators, I could look and I could be like, you know what? There's a lot of danger here. I am not gonna go swimming. But fear usually stems from some form of uncertainty, right? So when you accept uncertainty, that actually helps you a lot by completely canceling out that fear because you understand that you don't actually know what's gonna happen. So your brain is able to calm down a little bit. Something that goes along with this as well is you guys have to be using risk management. One of the main reasons that people are so concerned on every individual trade is because they're risking 80% of their account, guys. If you have $10,000 in your account and you're using $8,000 on one trade, obviously you're gonna be stressed out, right? Like there is no other scenario than you being stressed out. But if you have $10,000 in your account and you're using a more responsible amount, like you're risking 1 to 2%, you're risking $100, $200 per trade, then if the trade loses, you're not gonna be mad because why would you be mad if you only lost, 0.3% of your account? But if you lose 50% of your account, obviously you're gonna be mad, guys. So having good risk management will allow your mindset to grow and will allow your strategy to prosper. You could have the best strategy in the world, but if you don't have good risk management, you're gonna lose all your money. Now I'm gonna show you guys some other traders that have been succeeding just so you guys can see that the strategy is not only working for me, but it works for other people as well. This is Monday's trade. I remember showing you guys this at the beginning of the video. Benny took the exact same trade as me. You guys can see his entry is right at that midpoint as well. Kyle took that exact same trade. Kyle made $1,068 and he took the exact same setup. He entered right off that midpoint. So I really just want to show you guys this because there's no other way to prove that other people are understanding my strategy than by seeing them take the exact same trades that I'm taking. My man G made about $1,200 off of that break and retest on Monday, which is super cool to see. G is a super hardworking guy. When he first joined the coaching program, I mean, every single day he was asking us questions. He was asking me for advice and I was giving it to him and now it's paying off. Cheese Whiz made $1,000 off of that break and retest. David made about $400 off of that break and retest on Monday as well. Heatless took that break and retest with me and he took one of David's trades. David is our other futures analyst. David trades NQ and I trade ES. So it's nice to have a mix of both assets, and David also trades more in the PM session. I trade in the AM, so people are able to trade in the AM with me and in the morning with David, or they could just choose one. This is Kyle, guys. This is a really cool story. So when Kyle first joined the mentorship, he was struggling. He had been through multiple other programs, multiple Discords, multiple courses, and he was starting to not even really trust trading at all. He didn't even really believe that it would work for him. I sat him down, I gave him a little motivation, and not only really motivation, I just told him hey bro, this is what you need to do to see success. You wanna get to $10,000 a month? Well, here's what you're gonna have to do. And he did that, and now he is stacking up funded accounts. So this is really cool to see. You guys can read through this, but keep going, Kyle, if you're watching this, which I know you are, because you're a grinder, you're a hardworking dude, keep going, brother. Cheese Whiz just got funded, which is super cool to see. You guys can see that he passed a funded account, so he got the certificate, and AJ has been absolutely crushing it. AJ was pretty disciplined this week. He didn't take a ton of trades, but the ones he did were very successful. So it's nice to see him have a nice little profit there. My man Barefoot Ninja made $4,500 today. He was trading that break and retest to the upside, which is super cool to see. I love seeing people trade the break and retest. The break and retest is one of my favorite setups, and it's honestly the setup that took me out of a super dark place in my life. And it's just cool to see other people using it, man. My man G took the exact same trade as me today as well. That was the break and retest to the upside. He said that he loves seeing the idea still hit, and he just says that he's really starting to understand the strategy. I mean, guys, there's no other way for me to show you that the strategy works for other people than by seeing people literally take the exact same trade as me day in, day out with the same entry, same execution, same everything. All right, everybody, so this is one of our coaching clients, and she did tell me that it was okay to share this. This is awesome, right? So she's just super appreciative of learning trading, and she said that this skill is literally changing her life. And not only that, right, she's making a lot of money, and that's why it's changing her life, but she's also learning really good habits. So I just wanted to show you guys this, and know that if you're struggling right now, you're not always gonna be struggling. So keep going, I promise it gets better. My golf game needs a little bit of work, guys, not gonna lie, so I'm gonna be hiring probably a part-time golf coach to fix that. One thing that I do want to mention though, is that succeeding in the market is not easy by any means. But if you're working with somebody who has already seen success and who's already making money in the markets, it will be a lot easier and your path to success will be a lot shorter. So if you guys want to work with me one-on-one, I haven't done this since last year. If you want to work with me one-on-one, click the link in the description, and I don't work with everybody. I only work with people who I know are going to succeed with the program. So if you guys are not serious about this, this is not a good fit for you. This is only for people who really want to become profitable traders and who actually want to work with me personally one-on-one. If you want to do that, click the link below this video. Let's hop on a call and see if you're a good fit.